the thing for me, though, and this is a consistent thing that I've seen with the Chargers offense, and it's the entire time with Brandon Staley, has been that the offense just seems to go stagnant. Like just for whatever reason, they just don't. I know now. I did know DeAndre Carter did get hurt at that game. So I remember at one point they said they only had 3 receivers dressed.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Carter is, if I'm not mistaken, is their burner. He's their speed guy that can go over the top. So losing him, I think, kind of made that offense maybe a little bit more predictable. But still, I mean, they need to. They just can't have that happen. It seems like consistently throughout the year, their offense just goes cold, either for a half or for a game, and they just kind of go on this weird little stretch. But then they'll have a game where they're unstoppable, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And that to me is the essence of poor coaching. Because even if I think if the Chargers in the second half just turn it into, all right, well, we're just gonna give you 5 yards a pop, run the ball on offense, even if they go super conservative, I still think they come out on top of this game just because there's simply not enough time left to score 24, 20, they would have had to score 24 points, which they did to win. And so to me, they were still throwing the ball, still trying to push the ball down the field. And I think they just never should have changed their philosophy from the first half, because obviously that's what was working. So whatever adjustments they made, I put that solely on coaching. And then when they tried to go back to it in the fourth quarter, Jacksonville already had all the momentum. And so that, for me, it just looked like that team was not prepared to play that second half. They just they were just putting in the time and then going to go home with the win. And so I don't know. It's just frustrating to watch because that's just poorly coached. And I don't know. Do you think Brandon Staley's job is at risk over this loss?
Yeah. So I was looking at it before because I was thinking about it. So for 2 years, but I was thinking though, the Chargers, since Justin Herbert's gotten there, so it's been 3 years now, they have incrementally gotten better and closer. Like the first year he was there, they were just trying to put together games. There was a lot of potential. We could see that they didn't make the playoffs. Last year, they should have made the playoffs. Brandon Staley
that was Brandon Staley.
Well, he had some horrible coaching decisions in the couple games leading up to the end of the season. One, obviously, Week 18 game, but also people forget about the Chiefs game where he went for it on 4th down 4 times instead of just taking field goal points. And that would have actually been the difference in the game by a long shot. And then this year, though, you played Mike Williams in the final week in a game that didn't mean anything. I don't see why you play him. He gets hurt. He's out. And they did have in his defense, they did have the injury bug for a long time. Even going back to Justin Herbert hurting his ribs in week 2, that definitely affected that offense over those next couple of weeks. But then Rashawn Slater goes down, Joey Bosa goes down, Derwin James, I'm pretty sure, missed some time. A lot of guys missed some time throughout the bulk of the season to where they could have either fought for the division or got into a rhythm, etc. But it does keep coming back though to the should you fire him? But at the same time, I'm trying to think, would you, if they knew that they could get Sean Payton? Yes, you fire Brandon Staley immediately. But who's to say though that the next guy isn't going to be a Nathaniel Hackett? Where he comes in and his system does not work, does not mesh well with the current players. Don't like their system. So, I can see the argument both ways. To me, I'm personally leaning towards letting him go and firing him because coaches. Everyone makes mistakes, but now he has consistently made the same mistakes over a 2-season period. Where that I don't think that it's excusable. You don't play Mike. You don't play your starters in that different. Maybe you do for a half, or a couple of drives to have him keep rhythm, stay in that game mindset. But who cares if you lose to the Broncos? Like, that does not matter at all.
No, I agree.
A lot of his end of game decisions are just coaching decisions throughout the season.
For me,
have affected him.
It's the over aggressiveness in scenarios where like it doesn't make sense. So I compare him to Zach Taylor a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him and Zach Taylor, they were both second year head coaches last year, right?
Yeah.
With second year quarterbacks in high powered offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach Taylor is gone to a Super Bowl and is on track to compete to go to another, whereas Brandon Staley has had to scratch and claw just to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like, to me, that says a lot about him and his philosophy, that he just doesn't make things easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I think that just puts him in a bad light. And I kind of agree. I am leaning towards maybe moving on, pursuing a Sean Payton, a guy that's won a Super Bowl before, or pursuing one of these other young minds, Eric Bieniemy. Although I guess there's some bad vibes around Eric Bieniemy and why he hasn't got a head coaching job already.
Yeah.
And so I just think that is. I think that's the way to go with Justin Herbert. I think it's a possibility that like Sean Payton would want to go there. I think that is an option that they pursue.
Yeah.
And if not, I still think you could get where Brandon Staley has gotten you without him. So
yeah, it's very interesting because for me, honestly, I think, and that's going to be the question the entire offseason for the Chargers is I looked at who is becoming free agents, and as of what I saw right there, like just from what I saw, at least, and maybe I didn't get all the information, but not anyone who was super detrimental, at least skill position wise on the offensive side that I knew of that was leaving. DeAndre Carter's a free agent, but he's definitely replaceable. And not any major defensive names that at least I saw that will become a free agent. So the core of the team is kind of intact, and there's a lot of good talent around Justin Herbert in that offense. I don't know what they do because for me, as a coaching wise, time management, game management, the decision making just has not been there, and he's consistently made mistakes.